USA.
A lot of people make jokes about spacing somebody, about shoving somebody out an airlock. I don't think it's funny.
Fighting out of Anytown, USA, by way of Stockton, California. He is the culture war realist, rational individualist, the alpha with nostalgia. He's the hierarchy dominator, the USA crusader. He is the chief executive spacer.
Yo, you think you got enough names? Patience, Daddy. Almost done.
He is the man behind the United Spacers Alliance. Yeah! And I know the Lord of the Core. I storage in the origin. I know the record like a tech nerd. I got the hot takes for the bot fakes, and most importantly, I am never a victim. Once again, guys, welcome to the premier channel when it comes to the history of the franchise and the lore of Star Wars and many other properties, franchises, universes, and whatever else you want to call them. Hit the like button, share the link out there on all platforms. We're live on YouTube and Rumble tonight. Got a pretty good crowd on the Rumble side, so make sure if you don't have an account that you do have one and you're following the channel. And even subscribe to the channel, which is the same thing as joining as a member on YouTube. We've got to start diversifying and getting on multiple platforms. Really hope you guys enjoyed this week's diss track, and the video footage there is courtesy of Gabriel Knight. The music is courtesy of myself, and thanks to the other members of the Gatekeepers Alliance for allowing their images to be used in that video. Fun stuff. Lots more to come on that front. Let's see whom we have with us tonight. We've got Darth Leviathan 994. I totally agree. Force choke that like button and let's share the link out there. That looks like it's probably Jordan Star Wars based on what he's saying there. Melissa Lord, first ever member of the channel in the house. We got Darth Felix up in here on the Rumble side. We got Steezo for life on the YouTube side. If you dare. Yeah, he's telling you, go over there to that Rumble side. SWA is in the house. What's going on? And then there's Steezo on the Rumble side. I think this is Mike Cassius. The Nuisance Bird is here saying, Kaka! The Educated Fool 666 is with us. There's Gabriel Knight, the man himself, sharing the link out there for Justin's Rumble. There's Justin, the Star Wars Marvel purist over there on the Rumble side, holding it down all the time. Black Metal Nazgul in the house, celebrating 12 months of membership. Happy early Thanksgiving. Or if you're a Canadian, like Script Trooper, late Thanksgiving. Like fake Thanksgiving, fake Star Wars fan, right? Yeah, we're gonna have a good meal on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna make another beef clod, which is a very rare piece of meat, cut of meat. It's really only known in Texas, but I found out about it, and it's easier to make than brisket, tastes better than brisket, and it's not as expensive as brisket because of the poundage. So someone's going to make turkey. I really won't eat any. Not a big turkey fan. We've got SWA over there on the Rumble side. Smorgan's in the house. Thanks for being here tonight. OG Star Wars in the video on the drums. That's not a stereotype. There's Jordan France. Yeah, I totally agree. Smash the like button. As Alora says, Edwin Vasquez is with us. Lots of chat activity. Love to see it. Then I'm seeing over here on the Rumble side, guys. Let me scroll up here. Steezo for Life gifting 5 subscriptions, which again is a membership on the YouTube side. Some different terminology there. So congrats to whoever got a subscription on the Rumble side. Starting to see a lot of activity over there. Trying to upload videos after the sync stopped. That's SYNC, the synchronization with YouTube. New videos as well, and then posting old spacings. So getting a lot of activity over there. Posted the Disney Star Wars Mega Cut, one of the most fun videos I've ever made, in my opinion. And then the Script Trooper diss rap today, it's almost up to 100 views already. So we got to get Rumble going. So everyone thanks Steezo for Life. And then also on the Rumble side, let's see if this is showing up here. Because I did post the stream link so that chats and stuff show up. And hell yeah, it is. Awesome. Gabriel Knight, $20 on the Rumble side. GK Records is better than 99% of the trash being pushed as music these days. Yeah, and some bangers are coming out. Melvin's, I think, addicted to the software. He's cranking out reggae songs and R&B songs. Justin's messing with it. It's fantastic, and it's so easy. It's scary almost how easy it is. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some big plans coming out for that stuff. But Gabriel Knight, again, made the video portions of that track I played late at night, and I threw it all together, chopped it up that way. It's just amazing stuff, and just it's fun, and that's what we're about: is fun and fun and informative. That's what we want to be. I think Gabriel said he could drive in his car listening to that. It's just one try. Like, it cranked out 2 songs. The other one was like, not so much. The other one was like, this is exactly how I envisioned it. And I typed in 1 sentence, and that's what it put out. I was really happy with the results. I wrote all the lyrics. You kind of have to like figure it out. Like, how is the chorus going to make sense? But sometimes I'll even correct it for you so it flows better. But yeah, thank you very much for the $20, Gabriel Knight, longtime supporter and super member of the channel.
Make anyone cry today?
Sadly, no. But it's only 4:30.
Do you glorify violence or advocate the use of guns as a way of solving civil disputes?
Yes, thanks for calling and not reversing the charges. Yes, bye. Shithead.
That's me every day at work. Thanks again, Gabriel Knight. We've got Silver Ogre becoming a member again. Let's see here. See if I can scroll up. at the Spacer Recruit level. So thanks to Silver Ogre for joining the channel. Been a member for a long time. Been showing up for a very long time. Let's see what we got for that here.
The only difference between you and that greaseball is that he has a license and you don't. Scumbag!
Appreciate it. And then 17-month membership from Silver Ogre. Had to renew for OG today too. Well, we appreciate it and thank you very much. I saw something in here. Where is it at? Someone brought up Caillou. Here it is. Yeah, I deleted that clip off the software, the streaming software. I probably need to add it back because that was a fun one. Leave Theory alone. Coming up on a year of that event. And that guy's gone off the deep end, like way out, even more than he was before, into wacko territory. King Chris is in the house, holding it down. Super member, mod, using those custom emojis. If you guys want to be able to use those and just join as a Spacer Recruit, just do it. Tehalim29's here. Yep, Gatekeeper Records, GK Records. You heard it here first. Oh, yeah. Reverse psychology. But yeah, guys, it's 2026 is going to be an awesome year for the channel, for everyone's channels. We're gonna turn things around. Just weird stuff going on. Like I said last week with YouTube, 40 subs wiped out in 2 or 3 days. They just kept disappearing. Some kind of purge. Who knows? Could be a whisper network. Hey, Tim said something I don't like. Let's go and sub from him. You just never know what's going on, and who really cares, because we got the people here supporting us. We're going to keep spreading the truth, and we're going to keep growing that way. But there's something we want to look at really quick, and we're going to do this at the beginning of every stream. It's basically an accountability check, and this is something that really Justin started up. But I'm going to keep track of it on my stream, and he could do the same on his, and anyone else who wants to can. But I thought of this idea. I mentioned it to him like several days ago. Thought of it a few hours ago, so I put some stuff together. But this is something we need to keep track of, guys. So let's go ahead and get into that. I got to turn the cloaking device on.
Track them. They may come round for another pass.
Captain Nita, the ship no longer appears on our scopes.
They can't have disappeared. No ship that small has a cloaking device.
Well, there's no trace of them, sir.
All right. Here's what we're going to look at. This is the one right here. So Justin put a post out earlier today, and there's a clip here, and you should be able to hear this audio, but it's from that stupid video that we looked at last week, that everyone looked at last week, from Script Trooper. Here we go.
You guys need to delete your channels. You need to nuke your Twitters, because this is all going to come out. I'm not the only one. There's another video that came out a little while ago, a few days ago. It's got over 100,000 views, showing you guys for the liars that you are. He does it in a different way, but I don't know what you guys are doing, man.
So did you guys hear that? Did that come across? He said there was this big 100,000 view video criticizing us. No one can find it, and he hasn't shared it. So what we're going to start doing here is We're going to start clocking how many days. He hasn't shared that. And right now, here is the number. So 12 days, Script Trooper has not provided receipts. Edwin Vasquez. That's, I don't know. That's, that's a really good point, actually. That's a really good point. We're going to have to confer in private on that and find out if that's a possibility there. He could be talking about the Goombaglia stream with J.I. Acup. Maybe that's what he's referring to, because it's possible that live stream has taken off. I'm not really sure. Never went back to look at it. But if that's what he's talking about, number one, taking the side of full-blown leftist shills. Number two, they didn't even say anything specific on the stream other than delete that guy's comment. He said something mean. Going on and on and on. Well, he could have been exaggerating, though, Justin. He could have been exaggerating. He probably didn't even know. He probably just assumed that since he has 100K subs, whatever, that live stream blew up. Either way, he's being dishonest, and he's not being completely forthcoming where the truth is involved. Either way, it's complete bullshit. It was a fun night. I mean, it was funny. Like, just the whole thing was funny. Like, we've got clips from it and stuff, and we had a good laugh, like I said, but who knows? So 12 days, Script Trooper has not provided receipts. So we're going to keep track of that. I think Justin should do it. I think everyone should do it on their streams so that we can show that he's completely full of crap. All right, let's turn this overlay off here. Might want to turn it right back on. Because as you guys saw on the thumbnail, White History Month, with all those characters, and it looked ridiculous on purpose. Because no, we're not going to have a White History Month for Star Wars. Some shills out there on X took it serious, and they're like, I can't believe they're doing this. No, it was to make a point. It is as stupid as the Black History Month picture was. It's just as stupid. And I did some research, and in fact, I'm going to turn this freaking thing back on because I'm going to share X again. This post I made the other day, and this didn't take long at all. Let's do a tab here. This didn't take long at all. But I searched maybe for 5 minutes very specifically on the internet, on Google, using quotation marks, using site searches, and until the Disney era, and it wasn't even like in year 1 or year 2, several years in, that's when they started celebrating this Black History Month crap and the Pride Month crap and coming out with variant covers and all that shit. It was several years in. That's when they started doing it. So you get this picture here, and you saw my thumbnail. Again, pretty clever. I enjoyed making it. But you have all these characters, and we're going to get into what the cartoon avatar weirdos are saying on X about this picture and the whole situation. But here's what I said. I just performed a series of intense web searches. StarWars.com never made posts on Black History Month until well into the Disney era. I don't recall Insider doing anything on the topic either. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm open to being wrong. Maybe I am, but I don't think I am. The white guilt at DLF is palpable. And that's all this is. Oh, you guys will just, say that Lando's been around. Lando. He's your token black for Star Wars. Oh, and then Mace Windu. That's just one character. He was leading the Jedi Order with Yoda. That's who Mace Windu was. Not only that, but none of this is groundbreaking at all. And we'll get into what the weirdos are saying, but I want to show you some other stuff. Let me stop sharing this. Let me show you some other stuff here, guys. Let me get this picture open. And every time I do this, it reminds me that I haven't made a selection for Expanded Bootyverse. But let's share this and let's go through some stuff. So this is 1979 from one of the first Star Wars annuals. This is Katia Mbule, who was one of Han's lovers at some point in the past. So Star Wars Comic Annual 1979. Black character. This is Grizz Fricks from Return of the Jedi. He's a pilot. Rebel pilot. This is Jessica Mead from the Droids cartoon and in a couple of the books related to droids. Main character. It wasn't just some background character. Main character in that story arc, because droids would have different story arcs with different masters for R2-D2 and C-3PO. 1985, Droids and Ewoks cartoons. You got Ron here, right? The first black live-action Jedi from Dark Forces. No mention at all in the Disney Lucasfilm Black History Month, because they don't care about Expanded Universe. They don't care about anything in the pre-Disney era. Reckon. This is the comic adaptation of Han Solo at Star's End. Good novel. I don't think I've ever read the comic adaptation. The art of Reckon looks a little bit different in the West End Games role-playing source book, but pretty close. And this guy's a scholar. He's a scholar, a black scholar, 1979. And he's described as being black in the novel. Wilro Hood running around in the background on Bespin with the ice cream maker. So it's main characters. Maybe for one story, maybe for a series of stories. It's background people. Having black humans in the Star Wars universe is nothing new. It's nothing new. And what Disney Lucasfilm has done is not groundbreaking. It simply isn't. What is this one right here? Let's see where it's going to open. I don't know. I think that file became corrupted. In any event, it's nothing new. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Yeah, fraud trooper, fraud alert. That's what we got. Shield pooper. Let's see. They always forget Grizz Fricks. She's gonna bow. Yeah, I fixed the art. When is Pure Sith History Month? Twi'lek History Month. Wookiee, and that's 2E's History Month. We all know Lando is a robot sexual now. You mean Disney Lando. Jack of all casuals. OG member of the channel in the house. What's going on, Jack? Working in the rain. Well, that sucks. OG Star Wars says Disney Star Wars are speciesist. Yeah. And, you know, another thing, I put the Wampa in there. I put Aura Singh in there because they're white, right? It was White History Month. No Captain Panaka. And we'll get into that. We're going to get into that when we go back to the cartoon avatar weirdos here. Ultimate Rockman. There was one as well in A New Hope shown when the rebels are about to leave for the Death Star. Sure. I mean, I wasn't trying to be all-encompassing. I'm just coming up with examples going all the way back to the late 70s. Yeah, they played DEI bingo. Yeah, I hope Jack has a Rumble account for sure. Let me take that back down. For some reason, whenever we stop sharing, it goes back to full screen, then reverts back to that unless you actually remove it from the stuff that you can share on screen. So, proof right there that it's nothing new. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what these guys are doing. Let's see. Overlay back on. This is the tab I want to share. So, Star Wars Holocron, shitty account. They're the ones who posted it. So let's take a look at some of the comments here. And there's Nowalan, seen this guy around for years. He's followed me. And there he is. He's got Ron there from Dark Forces. Nori 1, race and color means nothing in the galaxy far, far away, as everyone human is seen as human. Stephen Wayne, known that guy. I think I streamed with that guy in 2020 on Itchy Baka's channel, long time ago. Black History Month is about African American and U.S. history. Giancarlo Esposito is mixed Italian. Yeah, but, you know, people say that, but you look at the guy, and it's clear. It doesn't matter how he's racially black. He is. If he wants to identify that way, then he can. So I really don't like that argument. I don't see any black droids. From Laura A. Aston Martin. They don't celebrate it. There, they got fucking aliens in that galaxy. He could have worded that better. These covers look like legends etched straight into the galaxy. Whatever the hell that means. Where's the Acolyte twins? So you start seeing that shit. Hamas keeps choosing... Oh, that's a stupid ad. Where's Quinlan Voss? Okay, he wasn't black. Torrin Clark never misses. But where are Osha and May? Or Mother... See, they're all like, where are they at? Who are the two Jedi to the right of Mace? They seem cool. They didn't add Jar Jar? Damn! They have a history? Wow, that's horrible. Where's May, Osha, Yord, Mother? Where's Ahsoka? What the hell does that mean? Where's the rest of them? Them. What do you mean by them? What do you mean by them? Where's Fiji Noah? In reverse chronically order for some reason. That doesn't even... Chronically? That's not the right word, dude. Huh? Where's she at? Where's the girl from the failed show with low ratings? That got canceled after one season. Who's the woman between... They're asking all this crap. Too bad they can't include Denari from Legends X-Wing Alliance. Denari was proof that Jamaicans exist. No, they don't. That's not a Jamaican. The lack of these characters is nasty. So there it is. There's Moses Ingram. See, that's what happens whenever you do something like this and you don't include everyone. Nothing's good enough. These people will never be satisfied. Don't forget her. I think that's from like Squadrons, right? That stupid game from about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was. 5 years ago, I think. No, Reva. Why? Why is it Reva there? She experienced racism. So let's go to the quotes. There's Laura. The greatest franchise of all time for making this. No likes. Take this back and do it again the right way. No likes. It's not good enough. No, seriously, this pisses me off. The more I think about it, Star Wars first black lead omitted. They got the black in capital there. Not to mention the first black woman main villain. Talking about Amandla Stenberg, the racist, right? And both actors face mass racism. No, she's the racist. And the whole thing with Moses Ingram, if you guys will remember, in 2022, I think it was like May 22nd, we are the ones who covered that article that said something along the lines of, oh man, Moses Ingram like has been trained to be ready for the backlash. And then a week later, oh, I got racist DMs. It's almost like it was a plan. And we exposed that 3 years ago before anyone else was talking about it. And in December of 2021, when they announced or 2020, it was 2021, when they announced Amandla Stenberg for The Acolyte, for the casting, I did some digging and found out she would read racist poems and all that bullshit. Exposed that. That video got a resurgence in 2024 whenever The Acolyte came out. Let's see. No, you're no sure me. My favorites aren't on there. Panaka erasure, so at least someone's calling out a real Star Wars character. Where's my girl? Seen so much bitching about omitted characters under this. How about enjoy the ones here? This is a cool fucking spread. Star Wars fans fail. Yet another try not to bitch and moan challenge. One like. Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of backup there, dude. Omitting Reva, May, and Osha feels purposeful. Well, here's Brooks, that stupid chill account. What about omitting all the characters that I looked at? These people don't even know their history. Where is Wilrow Hood? Where is Jessica Mead? Right? A black character that was teaching children how to be open, right? How to be welcoming to all people, right? Real Star Wars did that. Where's that character at? People only know Star Wars from The Last Jedi on. Maybe from Rogue One on. They don't know anything else. The decision to include High Republic Jedi and Sana Staros from print are lesser known and not Reva, Osha, May, or Anasea from the shows that millions of people watched is very interesting. That's Retney's holocron. Yeah, interesting. You know what you're saying there. You're trying to say they're racist. Just like the whole narrative from Oscar Isaac, everyone championing him because he said, oh, it'd be great if Disney could, not be in support of fascism. And that's why Disney's stupid for pushing all this stuff. Because if you don't do it the right way, the way that they want you to, then it's never good enough. So Disney gets what they deserve for all this backlash they're getting. I mean, it just goes on and on. Look at all these quotes. They try to do something they think will virtue signal and absolve them at least for a couple of days of their white guilt, and they get backlash. It's stupid. Lando is definitely main character. He saved baby Ben Skywalker when Vicky Shesh kidnapped him during the bombardment and invasion of Coruscant. Of course he's a main character. No, and I totally agree. Smorgan, I totally agree. There is no White History Month. There is no Black History Month. There is no Brown. There's just history. And it shouldn't be confined to a month, a day, an hour. We should always be thinking about history in general. Whenever you subject the concept of history to an identity or even to a limited scope in any way, shape, or form, then you're not fulfilling the lessons you can learn from history, because there could be events in history that are similar to each other and you should connect those. Like fall of the Roman Empire, what is it like? The invasion of one country 1,000 years ago. What is it like of an invasion in the 1800s? You should always look at all of history and not confine it. It doesn't make any sense. And I think it honestly goes back to critical race theory. The late 1960s. Everything had to have its own category. And that's when feminism started as well. Celebrate all history all the time. Reva is, flush her down the toilet. Straight trash. Iron Reaper 2000. They're not people. They're communists. Yeah. Throw them from helicopters. Divide and conquer. Yeah. That's what they do. I talked about that in 2021 in my second Gina Carano video. And it's less about her than it is about what collectivists do when they try to revolutionize a country or a group of people. First thing they do is make classifications. Darth Felix says they want to scream everyone is equal at the same time wanting to divide everyone up by checkboxes. Yep. You're right. Mike says it's never enough. They didn't learn from the "there are more of us" fiasco. Yeah, that was stupid. John Getz is here on the Rumble side. Totally agree. Make sure you have smashed the like button on both platforms. A fucking gatekeeper. She's on the Rumble side. Yeah, there's a lot of different characters, and honestly, that actor, I think he's native New Zealander. I don't think he's of African descent. Ultimate Rockman. Let's look here. Captain Typho. Actually Samoan. So yeah, he's not of African descent. So sorry to correct you there, but I'm one of those guys that always has to be right. Your seventh great grandfather served as a messenger on Washington staff. Interesting. You thought they were dating. It's fantastic. So it's nothing new, guys. They do this every single time. They're mad that the Ben Solo movie didn't come out. Again, look, it's almost like bot comments. Riva Osha May. Osha May Riva. A little bit of a different order there. Peg warmers they are. Wait a minute. I swear I didn't recognize him. Doesn't look like a him to me. Star Wars Academy, that cover goes hard. They like it. It's just wild how many quotes there are here. Some crazy shit. All right, so there's something else I wanted to talk about. Apparently, and I had to skip around on this video because I wasn't going to watch the whole thing, and then I skipped around again and I couldn't find it. But of all places, I was watching a really cringe Yavin-based broadcast member panel. And toward the end, Chef mentioned that Star Wars Theory got an invitation to the George Lucas Museum. So I went to Star Wars Theory's channel and again found this video. And honestly, like, I don't know how anyone could watch this video. There were probably about 40 jump cuts. It's almost like he just sat down and started rambling and then just decided to chop it up. There were 40 jump cuts right in the middle of a sentence half the time. And I'm like, who could even watch this? It's actually pretty hilarious. Like, that guy just exposes himself for how little he knows about just things in general. Like the name of these famous artists, most of which I've heard of. And it was clear he didn't know who the hell they were. But I didn't really hear him say I got an invitation. He made some, maybe I missed it, but he made some comments about, I can't wait to work with Lucasfilm or something like that. I really don't know. Maybe he did get an invitation. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he mentioned it on a live stream. I'm not going to go through all that. But either way, I wanted to show you guys something. I've had this for a long time. I still have the envelope it came in. Hell, I still have the envelope that my member kit, when I renewed when I renewed the first time, not when I subscribed, but when I renewed, and it came with this bumper sticker. Actually, I still have the envelope, like a, larger sized envelope. But this one here I have somewhere as well. So what is this? This is from 1994 or late 93, either way. And it did take place at the Yerba Buena Gardens in San Francisco. And it went on for a couple of months, but it got really intense in February and then through March with keynote speakers at least once a week. And it ended with Phil Tippett. You guys know Phil Tippett. The guy did a lot of the puppets and other special effects for the OT and beyond. And he's kind of turned on George. I think pretty recently he was still working for Disney Lucasfilm. He might still be. So a lot of those guys weren't really, they just wanted a job. Like Ben Burt was treated like crap because I think he probably didn't capitulate to the new Disney Lucasfilm. And he's spoken on just being treated like crap. But Phil Tippett, I've seen some of these interviews recently in the last, 4 or 5 years, and it's clear that he's being a company man. But anyway, in 1994, he was the man, right? So he was a keynote speaker. But here it is. It came in the mail, right, to me. And I took off the address thing there, but it's an invitation. And hey, tickets to go to San Francisco Center for the Arts, Yerba Buena Gardens for the Art of Star Wars. And it went on, like I said, let me get the dates here, from December 27th to March 12th. And this is dated, the postage meter is dated 12/27/94. So this would have bled into 95, not 93 to 94, 94 to 95. And it's crazy to think, because I don't know if you guys know what a postage meter is, but big companies will, instead of getting stamps, they have a metering machine that they have in the office, and then they pay the U.S. Postal Service that way, and they just they put postage on their own mail, the little red thing that you see in the corner there. So it's crazy to think that this was in maybe the San Rafael office. Not necessarily. I don't know. It could have been at the Skywalker Ranch, because it's only 15, 20 miles from North San Francisco. So it's possible they metered that stuff there. Then the mailman picked it up and took it to the processing center. So here I have in my hands. It had my name on it, right? You're invited to the Art of Star Wars. So I actually have an invitation. I don't know if Star Wars Theory has an invitation from George Lucas. I'm unclear on that. But yeah, that's clout right there that you can't buy, guys. They're like, hey, this guy Tim, it's 1994. It's right around Christmas time. We know he's been a Star Wars fan since as long as he can remember. We've got his address from being a fan club member, first Lucasfilm fan club, and then eventually Star Wars Insider. We're going to send him an invitation to the Art of Star Wars. So I need to get that framed. Like I have my other membership, like fan club membership stuff over here framed, my original card that I signed and all that stuff. So did you get that Star Wars Theory? Did you get an invite? Let me know, please. Theory probably falls for all the phishing hacks. Yeah, or, maybe doesn't see him at all, kind of like Mesa Windu, when he gets an actual invitation and gets called out by Swagman for missing it. They almost put the Lucas Museum by me in Chicago. Interesting. I don't like Chicago. I've been there a lot. No offense. I just don't like it. Now, we did go to the north side. It was in city limits. And it was interesting because I saw the school that one of my best friends growing up went to when he still lived in Chicago. Because he'd have the jackets. Remember the satin jackets, like baseball, football? Well, a lot of like even elementary schools had those satin jackets back in the day. I think it was like Hoover Skills School, whatever the hell it was. Big fancy school with like an iron wrought fence in the nice part of North Chicago. So we went up there one of the many times we went up there. This trip was in 2022, I want to say. And my boss was from rural Chicago, outside Chicago, maybe 20 miles. So he knew the city. So he took me up there close to a neighborhood he used to live in. And we walked by that school and we're in the middle of this residential neighborhood. And you could tell it was old, just everything felt lived in. And the house on the corner, it looked interesting, different kind of architecture. We go in and it's a bar. Imagine in your neighborhood on the corner, what the house is a bar. It's just like you don't see that in a lot of places. That was actually a nice area, but South Side obviously is shit. I don't like downtown. And there's really like two downtowns. I don't like either of them. I just don't like big cities, especially Chicago. No offense, Darth Felix. Yeah, you've done mailroom. Interesting. Yep, there's the custom emoji there. Use code FENCE for 20% off. Him and Nick Gillard sling. Oh yeah, he did say something in that video about, yeah, I'm going to take Nick and Roger, whatever his name is, Roger Christian with me. He acts like it's his entourage, and he acts like he's more important than they are. OG Star Wars says, I pointed out the panel is a copy of Legends panel and Adam High's. Oh yeah. There's a lot to criticize there. There is no Ben Solo, only Ben Skywalker. Yeah, he's just a retard. Like, you can tell. You can tell he's a big time retard. Soups probably hooked him up. Yeah, I'm waiting for Soups here. That was a cringe video. Yeah, Legacy, yeah. And they had those trios and whatever. I remember when all that was coming out back in, what the hell was it, 2006, 7, whatever it was. I only have like 5, 6 issues of Legacy, but I feel like I've read more. I think I'm missing a lot of comics. I think I have more Republic that I've lost. I think I had them in a stack, in a box, and that box didn't make it with me like in 2012 or so when I had a big move. I lost a lot of stuff because I know I had more comics, especially Star Wars comics and Legacy. I could have sworn I was up to like 30 issues because I remember the story arcs and I don't have a collected edition. So definitely lost a lot. Yeah, fake fan. Yep. Everyone's always going to expose themselves to that shit. Every single time. That clip will be on the next 100K view fake video. Yeah. So anyway, that's my invitation. I need to take some better pictures of it and post it and then maybe frame it and put it with the rest of the old school stuff over there. Something else I wanted to talk about, not Star Wars related. I should have gone over there to the library and grabbed this, but I was trying to set stuff up for a couple of hours and time got away from me. But I might have a couple of different versions of this. Let me see if I can find the art for the version that I have. I think it's a rare edition too. There's a really good website, which I can't think of the top of my head, but I come across it every now and then. It's like science fiction archive, whatever. Is this the one I'm thinking of? Well, fuck no, that's not it. Let's see. Not seeing it here, what I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. Let me move this over here to this browser. All right, so you guys know what Grok is, right? It's Elon Musk's AI. And honestly, like it's the app that I have installed on my phone. And I'll use it occasionally, but it pissed me off today because I was trying to make an image for that Script Trooper diss track thumbnail that I uploaded to Rumble today. And I was given it simple instructions and it couldn't do it. I think Gabriel Knight is a lot better at using it. So I don't even know if you know this, but like, what is Grok, right? Well, Elon Musk is a big nerd. So this edition of this book actually has it right there on the cover. It's Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein, one of my most favorite authors. Discover the strange and wonderful practice of water sharing, and if you are ready, learn to grok. So basically, they say, oh, it's a word you can't translate into English. It's basically like an understanding, like maybe psychically, maybe not necessarily telekinetically, but like on an emotional level, like gaining understanding in the book. It's a weird book, and at that point, Heinlein had like a lot of different stages in his career as an author. He had a lot of weird stages, and this was kind of one of them, but not a horrible read if you like that classic science fiction. It's interesting stuff. But yeah, right there on the cover, learn to grok. And I remember this cover because my father was a big science fiction reader. I mentioned that. He'd probably read not just science fiction, he'd read stuff like Clancy novels, he'd read nonfiction, Cold War, political commentary, and just all kinds of crap. He'd read a book every 2 or 3 days. And he would buy boxes of books, old ones, and I would love to go through them. And I tried to keep most of them. And this cover right here is the version that we had. So they're just, the guy and the gal are just naked, right? And they're on the planet Mars. So that's where this takes place. It's an interesting read. I don't necessarily agree with all the philosophy that Heinlein has in it, like I do with Starship Troopers, but it makes you think. Makes you think. Yeah, it means total understanding. Yes. Something along those lines. Retro Ryan is in the house, formerly known as Jock Nerdy on the Rumble side. Thanks for being here, sir. Make sure you hit the like, guys. Anyone coming in? Yeah, I will not touch Chat GPT. I just won't. I use Copilot at work, and it seems to be all right. I think that's Microsoft's, right? Copilot. It isn't too bad. Like if I ask it something, it's not like, oh, do something crazy with the picture. It's more about business. Hey, does this company own this company as a subsidiary? Because sometimes that's the case, and they don't even have it on their website. You got to like dig deep. So Copilot's good for looking all that shit up for you that way. Clipped. What's clipped? What did I say this time? King Chris, super member, gifting 5 USA memberships and doing what we like to call casting that see invisibility spell. And it looks like Moho, Ho-Ho, Moho Jojo, whatever you want to say. Is it Spanish or is it English? Member of the channel. Kern. That's Worf's brother, right? Now a member. D. Tudorache. We got RJ William, now a member of the channel, and Gummy again. Gummy58, a member of the channel, courtesy of King Chris, super member, casting that see invisibility spell. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we've got to play. I want to find one that we haven't played in a while. It's funny, they gave us folders here now, but not like where you hit play on them, just where you upload them. It's like, well, that doesn't do me any good. I want folders where I play from so I can click on the folder and more easily find what I'm fucking looking for.
There's my money where my mouth is. If you don't like it, bounce.
Fuck the Fandom Menace.
Fuck the Fandom Menace.
Thank you very much, King Chris. Also a guy that helps us out with AI video when we're making the musics. And you should try it out. I mean, it's never answered something wrong. One time I was asking a wrestling question of Grok and it got something wrong. And I'm like, hey, Grok, you're wrong here, 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 here. And it says, oh, yeah, after further research, you're right. And I'm going to update my records, blah, blah, blah. And it further expanded on whatever I was asking. But so far, Copilot, I haven't asked it anything super complex, but it's been pretty helpful. And it's not like we have anything else at work. A lot of companies are coming up with their own homegrown that's probably really just a patch into something like Chat GPT. But it's pretty crazy. We're kind of on the topic of science fiction anyway, but I was reading about this stuff in, I don't know, Discover magazine, I think. I was in an eye doctor office like 20 years ago, and there was an article on the cover article, lead story on the technological singularity. And this is something I've spoken on before in years past here on the channel. And that singularity is basically when technological development gets to the point where it's exponential and it's unpredictable and you don't know what's going to happen next. And some people say that's when, Terminator happens. That's when Skynet takes over. because you just don't know what's going to happen. And anyone who's used AI over the last 3-4 years, you've seen how it has improved. So it's pretty scary where it's going. Like these songs we make, they're made like in less than 60 seconds. Like if you sit there and you can spend 20 minutes, okay, here are the 2 verses I want. Go to the app, type them in. I want to hear a hair metal song, really crunchy, and some echo, whatever, go. And then 20 seconds later, and you have exactly what you asked for. In fact, a country song charted, an AI made country song and video charted a couple of weeks ago. So who knows what's going to happen, but that magazine predicted, oh, it'll be 2035. And then some people were saying, oh, we're going to push that back like about 7-8 years. I think Elon was saying a few months ago that, oh, no, it's back to 2035, the technological singularity. So that's less than 10 years away. And you think, oh, that won't happen because, in Back to the Future in 1985, they said we'd have flying cars, all this crap. But again, it's exponential, guys. It'll come out of nowhere. It's like a big bang. And then stuff just takes off. And not only that, but some people were saying in the article that computing power had plateaued and the miniaturization of computing power had kind of hit a brick wall, but it goes beyond that. It's what can AI do? And in Tehillim 29, you can not be a fan of it, but like there's nothing we can do. It's here. Like when Elon and Meta Boy were arguing about this about 3 years ago. Like Elon was like, no, we need to be cautious of it because it can be malicious. And Meta Boy was like, oh no, like it's not going to do that. Well, you got to remember, like these are machines. It's artificial intelligence. You would think it's going to think logically. And it's like, look at all these stupid humans, right? That are using me to create memes and stupid songs. They're not worth keeping around. See you later. Skynet happens. I mean, to AI, that could be logical, but it doesn't really matter if we're wary of it. It's here, and it is what it is. Your ex gave you Stranger in a Strange Land as a gift after we got married. Well, that's cool. Yeah, no Bill Billington. It's been a while since he got a gifted membership. Already been studies in the field of psychology. Yeah, well, after I read that article, I started subscribing to like Popular Science. I really didn't like Discover, but Popular Science is a more based science magazine, and they would talk about it a few times a year. And there's some articles you could find online. So I've been paying attention to that for a while, not so much in the past several years for whatever reason, but all throughout the 2010s, I was following that pretty closely. Don't let AI become the cult leader. Yeah. That's a really good point, too. So anyway, not a bad book. You can find it somewhere at a used bookstore, eBay. I really like Robert A. Heinlein. At least he thinks differently, thinks outside the box. And I really like the cover. It's just cheesy and hilarious. I don't know if they've ever tried to adapt that into a movie or television series, miniseries, whatever. There is no major movie adaptation, though a 1990 TV movie with the same title exists. Okay, well, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, and, Google here is saying it would be tough to make into a movie because a lot of it's internal dialogue and all that. And I appreciate someone not making a movie because people will take a book that really wouldn't translate well to the visual medium and trying to make it happen. And it falls flat. Now, that's not what happened with Starship Troopers. That would have translated well to the visual medium, but they just decided to make what they wanted to make with bug killing RS. But there's a way to do it. There's always an artistic way to adapt something. Anyway, guys, we're going to have a short stream tonight. Just wanted to go over White History Month as we did, and then wanted to talk about Script Trooper a little bit, and then Star Wars theories, maybe fake invitation, not really sure, and my real invitation. So, not going to stream on Thanksgiving. I can tell you guys that much. Probably be back the following Thursday. And then, all throughout December, maybe stream every other Thursday and just kind of let the news build up. But make sure you reach out to me on any of these platforms if you have topics you want to talk about, you want to get my take on, and I'll be more than happy to entertain talking about those topics, guys. But yeah, we're just going to do a short one tonight. Had a lot of fun, and we're going to end this on the new song as well. So if you missed it at the beginning, make sure you stick around for this. But thanks for the super chats, guys. Thanks for the gifted memberships. We're going to keep on doing what we do, and hopefully we'll have a Gatekeepers Alliance stream soon. We need to have a star triggered. We need to get the watch hours there. Tell friends, subscribe to the channel, Chris or someone, if you can drop the links to the Gatekeepers Alliance channel on YouTube on both sides. Everyone needs to join. We got to get 1,000 members. Watch hours should be happening. Probably going to upload something. I might upload the track over there and see if it gets any hits. But thanks, guys. You've replaced J.I. Acup with Grok. Ask Grok to pick a random frame from Rise of Skywalker and explain why it is peak Star Wars. I keep meaning to do this, and I'm going to do it. Maybe this weekend. I'm going to make a J.I. Acup post generator. Remember those generators they'd have like on the late 90s, early 2000s internet era? I'm going to make a J.I. Acup ex-post generator and share it with you guys. It'll be fun. But yeah, drop the link to the channel. Someone, a mod, please. Let's get everyone to make sure all your alt accounts are subbed. We got to get to 1,000. We're like at 720 or something like that. But thanks, guys. It was fun. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you soon. Space 'em.
He's got 3 million subscriptions. Listening to his contradictions. Bye.